What is going on, Flex Fitness fam? I am so excited to bring to you this non-negotiable training. This training is designed to help you reach your fitness goals. If you struggle with kind of making a lot of excuses, you catch yourself constantly going back and forth on doing the things that you know you feel like you should be doing in order to reach your goals, this training is here to help you out. It's here to help clear things up, help tell you the basic things that you need to do on a day in and day out basis so you can see results in your fitness journey, all right? Because that's what we want. We want to see some sweet results. We don't want to keep spinning our wheels. We don't want to stay stuck. We don't want to be stagnant. We want to see these results, all right? So this training is designed to help you understand some of the daily tasks that you need to do and just make non-negotiable in your fitness journey. And what non-negotiable means is you don't negotiate with yourself. You don't go back and forth with yourself. Am I going to do this? Am I going to not? Should I? Could I? Would I? You just do it. You don't negotiate. You don't think about it. It's just like an automatic thing. Sometimes we can be our biggest source of self-sabotage. Our biggest source of sabotage is ourselves. So if you can stop that inner terrorist and stop negotiating with yourself, you just do what you need to do, you will see results. You will. It's just a matter of time, all right? So let's break it down. You're going to learn some things here today, and when you're done watching this, I want you to let me know what you learned, all right? I want to know what your biggest takeaway. So let's get right in. Let's get right into this. So next slide. It'll be very pretty. I made it all myself. So we're going to go over seven topics of which that will be non-negotiable in your fitness journey. We'll break them down here in really no particular order. These are all important, and you don't want to neglect any areas of these when it comes to seeing results, right? So let's break it down. Let's get right into it. As you can see, there's regular physical activity, mindset / stress management, support / accountability, flexible dieting, time management / proper sleep, hydration / supplementation, and tracking progress. Let's get into this. First and foremost, let's talk about physical activity, right? So physical activity, when you think of a fitness journey, whether it comes to losing fat or building muscle or trying to achieve a certain outcome, physical activity is the name of the game, right? When you think of fitness, you think of being active. You think of moving and doing active things. So when you want to see results, let's say, and a lot of people come to me for weight loss, body recomposition, they want to lose fat, they want to build muscle, get stronger, those kinds of things. This is what it comes down to that you need to do, just like the bottom line, in order to see results, all right? There's a lot of different ways you can train, but when it really comes down to it, balancing this training with your lifestyle is really going to come down to these three major things here. First, I have resistance training. On average, 3 times per week. I like to tell every client 3 times a week minimum. That's the number you should strive for, right? If we're feeling good. Obviously, if you are sick, if you are injured, or there's a health problem going on, you want to rest and recover and get healthy first, and then you can go back to training. Hopefully as soon as possible. But make sure you take care of your health first. And when you are able to train, you want to aim for around 3 sessions per week. You want to make sure that you hit. At least try to hit every muscle group in your body. Every muscle in your body needs to be trained, and you want to try to hit it, around 2 to 3 times per week for every muscle group. And the way you can do that, you can simply do that with 3 sessions of working out. And you want to do resistance training. We want to be utilizing barbells, dumbbells, resistance bands, our own body weight machines, cables, anything that just puts our muscles under tension, under resistance, whether it's a body weight exercise, a body weight squat, whether you got a barbell on your back and you're doing a squat, whether you're doing a leg press, as long as the muscles are being worked, that's what's important. So we want to aim for 3 sessions of resistance training per week. We want to have an active lifestyle. You should aim to have 8,000 steps per day. Some days are going to be a lot more, some days might be a lot less, but that's a good average for you to always aim for, 8,000 steps per day. And then in case you need to dial things up a little bit, maybe you need to increase the rate of your fat loss, maybe you need more endurance, whatever the case may be, but then you're going to add intentional LISS or HIIT cardio. LISS or HIIT cardio means low intense steady state or high intensity interval training. So basically LISS cardio, low intensity, steady state cardio, is like just like being on a treadmill at a nice walking pace, maybe an easy jog, maybe on a bike, just going real easy on, it could be like cardio can be anything that you enjoy doing. For me, like I like going boxing for cardio or doing jujitsu for cardio, like, or, even like, hiking or gardening can be considered cardio. But we want to like, the more focused we are on losing fat, there are tools like being on an exercise bike, elliptical, stairmaster. It really comes down to preference, what you can enjoy, what you can adhere to, and then you would add more cardio as we needed to basically adjust for more weight loss, or if we needed to prepare for like a marathon or something like that. It all depends on your goals, but those are the main things it comes down to with your physical activities. Just 3 times per week resistance training on average. We always want to be pushing for that, because if you don't use it, you lose it. You got to use these muscles. We got to make sure we hold on to as much muscle as possible as we age, and that's how we're going to do it. And then also having a daily active lifestyle in general, because nowadays we're more sedentary than ever, so being intentional with those steps is going to be very helpful. And then more intentional cardio to just fit our goals and just do the things we enjoy. Cardio can actually be a fun time if you do what you enjoy. It actually can be like another form of meditation where you're just chilling out and in your own zone, and it's very nice. But you got to get into the rhythm of it first. You got to get into the flow. So next up, we will talk on mindset and stress management. This is so just underestimated in so many people's fitness journey. Mindset and stress management are important. They're extremely important. Your mindset is so important. If you don't have the right mindset, you're not going to execute the plan. You can have the perfect plan of what to do for your training, what to do for your nutrition, but if you don't have the proper mindset, you're going to fall off track. And if you get too stressed out, too overwhelmed, like start freaking out, we're not going to be, able to take action. We're going to be, too stressed from things and too overwhelmed, and it's going to overload our system. So here's kind of how you can boil down having good mindset, good stress management. First and foremost, you need to have meaningful goals. I talk to people all the time that, want to lose weight or want to get in better shape, but they just have a very shallow goal, a goal that isn't going to move them that much. You need to have a goal that means a lot to you. It's meaningful. When I lost 100 pounds, it's because I wanted to change my entire life. I wanted to transform myself. And there were so many things, so many reasons, everything in my life added up that I realized that like I needed to make a massive change. And when you have a meaningful goal, you will be much more likely to achieve it. Like if you have children that you need to do this for, if you are having health risks that you need to avoid, like meaningful goals that are going to push you. Because if you don't have a greater vision of achievement for yourself that you're working towards, and a possible risk outcome that you want to avoid that you're working away from, you're not going to get anywhere. If your why doesn't make you cry, you're not even going to try. So you need to make sure this goal is meaningful, it's important, and you remind yourself every single day of why this is important. And then you take your goals very serious. You take them serious because these goals are meaningful, and you'll be much more likely to see results. And then on top of that, throughout this whole journey, you got to have a growth mindset. That's why that little icon there with the flowers coming out of her head. You need to have growth mindset. You need to focus on progress over perfection, because you're going to be as you get focused, you're going to be hyper fixated on making sure you hit your calories, you hit your workouts, you hit everything perfectly. But it's not about hitting it perfectly. You're not going to be perfect. Perfection does not exist, despite whatever you may see on social media or whatever. But people aren't perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect by any means. You need to look at progress. You need to see how far you've come. You need to look at like non-scale victories, and just look at your overall commitment and consistency versus just like the number on the scale, or the seeing immediate gratification, immediate results. Get focused more on the process than the outcome. I talked about focusing on the leading indicators versus the lagging indicators. Leading indicators are hitting your calories, hitting your workouts, hitting your steps. Lagging indicators are actually achieving the results, like losing weight, seeing the number drop on the scale, things like that. But people get focused too much on the scale and not enough on the things that they got to do. But you need to just realize, like, you're just making progress. You're just trying to do better than what you were doing yesterday or last week or last year. You just do better than what you did before, and you will see results, and you will enjoy the journey a whole lot more, versus trying to be a perfectionist and then waiting for the very first time that you slip up on something, and then immediately like you slip up and then you beat yourself up, and then your mindset goes downhill because you're being negative and your self-talk goes bad. It's a downward spiral. We want to avoid all that, so we're focusing on progress. We're being human. We're giving ourselves grace, and we're patting ourselves on the back for every win that we make, all right? Which is, the third point here is self-care and self-love. That is one of the biggest things in your journey you need to realize, is that you need to approach your weight loss or your muscle building or your body recomposition, your transformation overall, as a journey of self-love, not a journey of self-hate. We're not trying to change ourselves and beat ourselves up because we hate ourselves. We love ourselves so much that we're willing to push ourselves to the next level. You need to look at this journey with self-love and have plenty of self-care. And I have a couple of extra things down there that I highly recommend if you're, if you need to work on your self-love, self-care. Things like journaling, things like meditation, doing affirmations, positive affirmations, writing down the things you're grateful for to put yourself in a state of gratitude, having a morning routine. These things will help your mindset over time. Some people think they're a waste of time, but I can promise you that, you have to find the morning routine that works for you is the biggest thing, because it's changed my life, and what worked for me isn't going to work for you. So you have to find out that thing that you can do in the morning to just put yourself in the right state of mind. It doesn't have to be an hour-long process. It can be 15 minutes, 5 minutes, just something quick to put yourself in a good mood, and you'll get so much further in your fitness journey by keeping your mindset in a positive place versus allowing yourself to slip into a place of negativity. All right, so let's get into the next slide. This is a big one. This is super important. This is huge. This is transformational. This will change the way that you eat for the rest of your life, and will allow you to eat your favorite foods and see results, and just have a whole much more positive relationship with food, whether you deal with starving yourself, binge eating, deal with fad dieting, too much supplements, too much of this, too much fat, just too much getting into the hype. Flexible dieting will fix that for life. All flexible dieting is just looking at your food for what it is, for what's actually in the nutrient contents of that food. All food that we eat gives us energy. That energy is measured in calories, and those calories are broken down into three main macronutrients: proteins, carbs, and fats. Proteins help build your muscle back up. Those are 4 calories per gram. Carbs help give your body energy. Those are 4 calories per gram. And then fats help keep you full, help your hormones, things like that. Those are 9 calories per gram. Proteins, those come from meat, your chicken, steak, turkey. Carbs are your potatoes, your vegetables, your fruits, your pastas, all your pastries and candies, things like that. Fats are more of your butter, avocados, oils, things like that. Those are the foods. That's the premise of macronutrients and flexible dieting. And flexible dieting states that if you are in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. If you are at a calorie maintenance, your weight will stay the same. If you are in a calorie surplus, you will gain weight. So we can manipulate these numbers, and we can eat whatever foods we want and still manipulate our body at will. And if we want to gain weight and put on muscle, we'll put ourselves in a little bit of a surplus, go on a bulk. If we just want to maintain our weight, we'll just keep our calories at a maintenance. If we want to lose body fat and try to keep our muscle as much as possible, maybe build some at the same time, we will put ourselves in a slight deficit. But we won't drop our calories more than 500 at a time. That's any more than 500 is overkill. We want to do small changes in our calories, in our deficits or surplus, to make sure we're going in the right direction. So the 3 main points here in flexible dieting is the end all be all. The only thing that you really need to make sure that you are focusing on are your calories and your protein. Your calories and protein are the main thing. Let's say if 2,000 calories is, let's say that someone's 200 pounds, their maintenance is 2,000 calories, right? This is just a made-up example, so don't try to apply it to you. It's just for numbers' sake. But 2,000 calories would be a maintenance for someone. And if they wanted to lose weight, then they could lose weight by simply just eating 1,800 calories instead of eating their maintenance at 2,000. They'll go to a deficit of 200 calories and they'll eat 1,800 calories. And then the only thing they have to worry about to lose weight for sure is making sure that they eat and consume 1,800 calories, and they're consuming adequate amount of protein, at least 100 grams of protein, more the merrier, right? So when we talk about flexible dieting, we don't always have to eat perfectly organic, 100% free range, natural, straight from the garden. Like, I wish that was the case for all of us, but that's just not the world we live in, let's be honest. So what we like to do is follow the 80-20 rule, where 80% of everything that you eat is going to be clean, whole, nutrient-dense foods, things like, fruits and vegetables and lean cuts of meat, like real clean, pure sources of food, the best that you can get available, the highest quality that's around for you, the most natural, good sources of food. 80% of your nutrition should come from that. And then 20%, go out and have a little fun. Have a snack that you unwrap in whatever case. Go out to eat with your friends. Go out, maybe have a drink, whatever it is. But it's only that little 20%. Maybe it's that you save it for a birthday party. You save it for Christmas. You save it for, just a special moment in time. Or maybe you have just like you're craving a Pop-Tart in the middle of the day. Like you can get away with that. That's okay. But we just follow the rule of thumb. 80% of our foods are clean, whole, nutrient-dense sources of food. 20% will be kind of those little guilty pleasures, those little snacks, those little just gas station grabs, whatever. But it's okay as long as you stay in your calories. Understand that you don't want to have a poor relationship with food when it comes to flexible dieting. You don't want to abuse your flexible dieting relationship by just trying to hit your calories by eating Twinkies and Pop-Tarts. You can technically still lose weight in a deficit. However, your body's not getting the nutrients that it needs. So you need to have things like vitamins and minerals and protein. You want to have all of those good nutrients. So 80% of our food we want from real clean, whole, nutrient-dense sources. 20% have a little fun, all right? And then if you are on my team, if you're a client here, and if you are, and you're just in general serious about hitting your results, meal prep should be non-negotiable. You want to meal prep. You want to prep out, even if it's not all individual meals, cook all of your protein out in bulk. Cook all of your carb sources out in bulk. Maybe you like sauteing your veggies. Do all of that all in one night, all at once, so you have the next 3 or 4 days of just pure protein, pure food ready to go. You don't have to think about it. Flexible dieting is the key for you to seeing results and keeping them for the rest of your life, all right? So I highly encourage you to get on the bandwagon, and if you find anything better, let me know, all right? So next, we've covered some good topics so far, and we got a bunch more. Let's keep it going. Progress tracking. If you don't track your progress, you're not going to know if you're actually going to make progress. So if you're not tracking, you're slacking. You need to track your progress. It's non-negotiable, very important. Keep it very simple. What I recommend for everybody to track their progress is just do a daily weigh-in. But first thing in the morning, before eating anything, and after using the bathroom, ideally your stomach's as empty as possible, and you do a daily weigh-in first thing in the morning. And if you miss a day, it's not the end of the world. If you just miss a couple days, it's not the end of the world. But the more frequent you can see that body weight, the better. It gives you more data to know where your calories should be, to see, to hold yourself accountable. When you step on the scale, it reminds you that you're on a mission here. You know where you're at, and you know where the next step is, and you got to take actions to get there. So a daily weigh-in helps keep you accountable. The problem is that too many people associate that number on the scale, and they get that self-worth from that number on the scale. They let that scale give them the victories, the highs and lows of the journey. But I want you to remove any emotion you have in relationship to the scale. The scale is just a number. Numbers don't define you as a human being, all right? The number doesn't know the story, all right? It's just a number. So step on the scale. Don't be afraid of the number. Just record the number down, because it'll help you know where your calories need to be. It'll help you know if you're moving in the right direction or not. Your number on the scale is going to go up and down like crazy based on a lot of factors. So I don't want you to think if you're winning or losing based on the scale. Just use it as data. It's something that helps you understand where your calories need to be, where your habits are. It helps you learn your body, all right? So track your body weight. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of the truth. Just track it. It will help you. If you want to see results, that's how you do it, baby. So you track your body weight, track your macros, right? You use a food scale, weigh everything to the gram. I weigh everything cooked, so if you want to weigh things out, either weigh it raw or weigh it cooked, but don't do both. Just pick one or the other. I weigh everything cooked. in terms of meat. You can utilize MyFitnessPal as a free app. There's a bunch of apps out there that help you track macros. We all use the Flex Fitness app, so it takes care of all of that. Tracking macros, just you don't have to think about it. It's so easy. It's a supercomputer in the palm of your hand that we can use to track our macros now. It's insane. Progress photos. Finally, you need to take progress photos because it tells the story that the scale can't. And then when you take progress photos, it like proves to yourself that you're all in, that you believe in yourself, that you're gonna choose to, that you're going to move forward. It shows that you have that level of confidence that you're going to follow through, you're committed. So it gives you that commitment that you need to actually see results. And then it's so nice to see the changes. It's so nice to look back and be like, wow, look at all the progress I've made. Look at how the changes, look at my arms change, my face, my neck, my legs, like look at all the little changes. It's so rewarding and so motivating, and it's amazing. And you will thank yourself for taking progress photos. You need to track all these things. When you track all of these things, you'll be so much more likely to hit your goals. If you're not tracking, you're slacking. Hydration and supplementation, this is very simple. For hydration, get a big bottle of water, fill it up first thing in the morning, and try to hit 2 to 4 liters of water daily. You want to be hydrated just for so many health reasons, but helps, just keep your body healthy, and it helps keep you full, all right? And then before we even get into supplementation, you want real food first, like we were talking about before. We want nutrient-dense foods, natural sources of foods, fruits, veggies, lean sources of meat. Like those are where you get the real nutrients from first. You don't need to supplement anything before that. But I know supplements are kind of like, they're more of like a nice to have than a need to have, but they're still nice to have. So I kind of have just some of the basic staples that you can use on a fitness journey, whether you're trying to lose weight, build muscle, or you're just trying to be healthy overall. You can supplement protein with a protein powder, either a whey protein, casein protein, plant-based protein, whatever. Like there's so many flavors and options. You got to find out what you like. The difference between whey protein and casein protein: whey protein is a little quicker digesting, casein is a little slower digesting, so it's nicer to have maybe in the evening or before bed. Omega-3 fish oils, they just help out with the health of your heart, your cardiovascular system. They also help with your joints. Daily multivitamin just helps with everything overall. Most people sometimes still don't eat a lot of fruits and veggies, so if you don't eat a lot of fruits and veggies, even though you should throw a daily multivitamin in there to kind of help supplement that, to help compensate for your lack of eating veggies, but still eat fruits and veggies, and that'll take care of it for the most part. There's branched chain amino acids, BCAAs. Again, you don't need it, but if you want to have just like that little extra 1% of an advantage, it helps you with your muscles recovery. Maybe it'll help you get less sore from working out, things like that. I have glucosamine here. That's it's a supplement that helps your joint health. So if you struggle with knee pain, elbow pain, that's something that I've used for knee pain for years, and I think it helps overall. So glucosamine is something. Creatine monohydrate, that's probably the most researched supplement out there, which is proven to help you just generate more energy, more power in your workouts. It helps with muscle recovery. It's going to help you build muscle if that's your main goal. That's the most important supplement there for you. Creatine monohydrate, perfectly safe, comes in a pill or a powder or whatever. Again, it's not like the biggest difference in the world. Like these are not necessary, but if you want to have them, go right ahead. And then finally, there's caffeine and pre-workouts. They're pretty much the same. That's pretty much what all caffeine or all pre-workout is. It's just a bunch of caffeine. You want to try to not exceed too high of caffeine levels. You want to not have caffeine too close to bed. But sometimes if you want to have a pre-workout before a workout, you can do that. You can have just a coffee as well. That will do almost virtually the same thing. But hydration and supplementation are also key. And then for a lot of you busy, parents, hard workers, maybe some business owners, things like that, you need to manage your time. Otherwise, you're not going to get the time to work out. All your responsibilities are going to come crashing over you. So you need to be very intentional on putting yourself first, or at least just being non-negotiable with your training. You can help with this by having a Google Calendar, by having a scheduled to-do list where you know the tasks that you're going to achieve, by blocking off distractions, by turning your phone on do not disturb, not giving away your time, by setting boundaries, saying no, all these things. You got to keep very focused on your fitness journey here and be intentional. Otherwise, the world will just keep asking favors from you, and you'll give, and there'll be nothing left for you. So you need to be very intentional. Block off distractions. I always keep my notifications off. I turn them off. Especially in the digital age, don't be always scrolling social media and scrolling feeds all the time and being sucked into emails and text messages. You need to like realize that a lot of the time that we could be spending working out are going into our phone, technology, work, things like that. So you need to carve away that time, block off distractions to make sure that you can reach your fitness goals. I recommend you can work out first thing in the morning. You know, it really helps start your day off right. But if you can't in the morning, or if you sleep in, whatever, you can still do it in the middle of the day, still do it in the evening, still do it later on. You can still get it done and make it non-negotiable. But I highly recommend having also a set bedtime where you know what time you're going to bed. You're intentionally going to bed early so you can wake up early and hit your workout. And then you also aim for sleeping 7 hours per night or more if a bonus. So, and then last but not least, for all my clients here, you need to lean into your support. You need to lean into the accountability that you have. You have to send your check-ins in to me or your coach, you know, like, so we can see what's going on. Trying to coach someone without a check-in is like coaching someone blind, you know. Check-ins help keep you accountable. It helps keep your program customized. It helps us make adjustments. It helps us make sure that we can like really see results and like be truthful, be honest in your check-ins. Don't just be vague and do one-word answers. And if you're struggling, going and hiding, no, that's when you need to check in. That's when you need to really break things down so we can make adjustments. And again, you need to be engaged with the team, you know. Join the Facebook group live calls or the Zoom meeting live calls. Like, be engaged with the team. Show up, post your wins, post your struggles, comment on your teammates, let them support you. You know, the more engaged you are, the more you will see results. It's just a pattern that I've seen over the years. The more engagement that you have, the more results that you have. The more you actually are like tuned into the frequency of winning, you will win more. And then being very clear on communicating with your coach, with me, right? Like making sure you know, like you tell me what's going on in your life. If you're struggling, if you're like winning and you want to share your wins, maybe you don't like your workouts, you know, like you can't, like I can't as your coach read your mind. So if you like hate it, you got to let me know, because I'm really hands-on and I'll make sure it fits you perfectly. But if I don't know, I don't know. So very clear communication. A lot of times when we struggle, when we fail, we feel shamed. Like we feel shame. Maybe you feel embarrassed. Like you don't want me to feel disappointed in you, but like no coach or anyone that's ever lost weight or have ever improved themselves, they'll never judge you. They'll never shame you. Like, so like whenever you feel like going ghost or going away or like hiding, that's the signal that you need to lean in for the support the most, because that's what's going to get you your breakthrough. All right. So I think that is all the topics here, and let's break down the very simple non-negotiables here at the end of this long training. Went a little bit longer than I expected, but to break things down really clearly, 7 daily non-negotiables, or just non-negotiables to have daily, weekly basis, and you want to see results, all it is this, is just do frequent morning weigh-ins, so you can track your body weight, so you can keep yourself accountable, you know the direction you're going in. Drink 2 to 4 liters of water daily. Lift weights on average 3 times or more per week. Hit an average of 8,000 steps per day, and do intentional cardio if needed. Track your macros accurately, definitely accurately and honestly. And honestly, the most important things that you do need to track are your protein and your calories. Make sure you get good sleep 7+ hours, and then take progress photos. Shows that you're committed, shows that you can see the results over time, keeps you motivated, and it will allow you to inspire others later on down the road. So I hope you enjoyed this non-negotiable training. I hope you got some takeaways, hope you got some value. Let me know what what your biggest takeaway is. If there's anything in this journey if there's anything in this training that helps you in your journey, I would freaking love to know, fam. So appreciate you for tuning in. Let me know how everything's been going as well. If there's anything I can do for you to support you as your coach, I got you, fam. All right, so appreciate you. Peace, love, protein. Now go out and dominate those goals. Let's go.